I think I'm doing just fine, sweetie. All your hard work pays off. That's the cat.
She's fine, she's mine. Walking down the street, so man, beware. Man, she looks so neat, that face so rare. Anyone stop and stare? One look, you're hooked. Got your money took, you got it, go, go, girl. You got it, go, go, girl. Those things so hip.
Camera that I didn't remember that you were telling me
I
about.
know, I do. I do have a good memory, especially about my childhood and
Well, it's so exciting when your mother was talking about the Wizard of Oz.
right, she
was
choreographed it. Yes.
That's a great honor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic, and the work was excellent.
Yeah, I grew up in the business and loved it, and still, once it's in you, it never goes away. I mean, I have a normal gig, I go to a normal job. That's not what I want to do.
No.
But I have bills to pay, you know.
Yes.
And I'm
yes.
too old to be the starving artist, so.
Well, it was the bohemian where you do everything for the art, not for the money.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury today.
No,
you know.
that's right.
We wish we could, but.
But you stayed in the business. You never stopped being in the business.
Whether it's behind the scenes, doing promotion, by the way, when I finished at Warner Brothers, I went to work for Frank Zappa, and I got him his first single, Don't You Go Where the Huskies Go, Don't You Eat That Yellow Snow.
Wow.
Wow, claim to fame.
Yeah.
And then went on to A&M Records, where we worked a lot with Captain and Tennille, and of course the Carpenters,
Right.
where Cubby was one of the drummers.
That's right. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, Cubby came in. They were on the road, and they came in, and he says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm pushing your product. Go out there and play the drums." So yeah, from there it's you have to really love the business from all angles, and whether it is performing or being behind the scene, it's such an exciting time now. We have so many other ways of getting the product of the artist to the public, that during this transition period into the digital age, there's going to be a lot of exciting times. So anybody out there who's talented, keep perfecting your craft. Don't just specialize in one thing. Make sure if you are a singer, that you can play an instrument or you write. If you're a dancer, study how you can choreograph a routine for someone else. There are great opportunities out there.
You have to be multi-talented.
You definitely have to be multi.
And speaking of multi-talented, you also write.
Yes, we're dabbling in that. In fact, there was the best of the short stories, on National Public Radio, and the host was Paul Auster, a prolific writer. And they liked my story, and they had it on the radio, and then he asked, "Can I have it in a book?" And I said, "You're welcome to do it, because I want to be published."
Sure.
So it's part of the Vietnam era.
I Thought My Father Was God. That's the name of it.
That's one of the short stories in it by Paul Auster, and you can get it in your bookstore.
Oh,
and
great.
You can read about the Mouseketeer in there, too.
And your little story, I hear, is a little sad.
Yeah,
Make you cry.
Well,
right?
it makes you cry. It makes you cry a little bit, because it brings back the nostalgia of Mickeymose, and a lot of fans out there really identify with Mickey. And what used to happen to me when I was doing my show, I wanted to be identified as a rock and roller and a performer, not that being a Mouseketeer.
Right.
But inevitably, at the end of every show, someone would say, "You're a Mouseketeer," and then the guys would stand up in the audience. It was like singing an alma mater. And they'd sing the Mickey Mouse theme
It's
song.
a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's
It
very
really
touching.
is. And even if you do it, I have a friend who plays it a lot. He's a jazz musician. He does it all different ways, and it's a great tune.
Oh, I have to hear it done jazz.
Okay, I will have him do that.
Definitely have to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you have to be proud of, and it's going to be going forever. I mean,
Yes, I have to say, I had a crush on Mr. Disney, and I couldn't believe I
Did you really?
Yes, definitely, and I just couldn't believe it when I went to work for him.
Wow.
He was my hero.
I never thought of him being a sexy man.
Oh, he was very
He
sexy.
was?
Oh, very.
Oh,
Yes, very, very come hither to the ladies.
I'll be darned.
Oh, yes, he was a charmer.
Was he nice to all the kids, or?
Yes, but he didn't treat you as a child. He treated you as an equal. And he also wanted you to realize that Mickey and Donald and Goofy were his characters. They were his stars, and they were like a living being. And you had to treat him so.
I see.
Oh, yeah, he was very much, you know. I did the Donald Duck special with him, and he made sure that I realized, you know, I know you love Donald, Doreen, but you're working for Mickey.
Really?
Oh, yeah, and it sounded a little strange because I said, well, aren't they animated? What is he talking about? Like they were real people. Oh, yeah, they were real to him.
What was it like working with Sid Miller?
Well, Sid was a child actor, too.
Uh-huh.
So when he came in, he says, none of you guys are going to pull anything on me because I've done it, been there, and I know how to handle you.
So he put you all in your place right away.
Right away. Everybody
Yeah.
was afraid of Sid, but we worked our best with Sid Miller.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He made Annette cry one day.
Really?
Made Cheryl just shake. Tommy even forgot the words to several songs because of Sid Miller. I mean, oh, yeah, he was a taskmaster. But wonderful. Brilliant.
Well, he got all the good out of you kids, I gather,
Yes.
so.
Yes, but he used to be frightened if you know, he had to get that last take before 6 o'clock because we had to be off the set,
had to be
otherwise
off.
it goes into overtime. And Disney, even to this day, the studio is very conscious of their money.
Right.
And he used to rub his bald head and said, if we don't get it in the next take, I'm going to be out of a job.
And so right now, what are you doing? I know you're still in the business, still working.
I'm very fortunate to be working for a man named Mr. Dean Marks, who's the head attorney for intellectual property for Warner Brothers Studios. And we're part of the corporate business development and strategy. And what we actually are doing to help Mr. Meyer run the studio, and also Mr. Dick Parsons for Time Warner, is to restructure our industry. And it's a very technical part of the business, but it's fascinating. And when it's done, as I said before, there's going to be so many opportunities for artists out there.
Yeah.
So we're working very diligently to stop the piracy, because if you download and you start selling product illegally, you're taking money out of, we're not talking stars, we're talking the actors that don't work all the time. They don't get their share.
Oh, the member, how many work in the Screen Actors Guild? What's the percentage?
Oh,
I mean, hardly any.
hardly any.
Yes.
And if there isn't money going into the till for them to supply them with the insurance and all the other benefits that are needed, you have a lot of starving artists out there. And so we beg people, please don't steal, don't do piracy with the films. You can lease, you can license, you can buy. And it's going to be cheaper than ever to buy the product, and it's enjoyment you can have forever. And so we're trying to restructure the industry so it will be safe for the intellectual property, and it'll also be safe for the artist in the long run.
Oh, that's great. You know, we have a minute.
We have a minute. We have a whole minute.
We have I told you it would go fast.
Yeah, it does.
To the point I should have you for part 2.
Well, I want to thank you, Jodie, really
Oh,
for
you're
having me on the show.
welcome.
It's-
You're a great guest.
Well, thank you.
And you're going to start now taking your dance classes again? or
Well,
what?
I have to, because I figure my retirement, I'm 63 now, and when
Wow.
I'm 66, you never know, Warners may say, it's retirement time. There is a great show in Palm Springs called the Palm Springs Follies.
Yes.
And you might be seeing me in that show.
That would be great.
And it'd be a lot of fun. So
Oh, you'd
I'm
enjoy
looking for
that.
that, and of course doing voiceovers and keeping my writing up. So
Yeah.
it's just fun.
Voiceovers is one of the best things to do in the industry.
Yes, it's also very, very.
Well, I want to thank you again, Doreen, and I'd love to have you back. You're a great guest.
And thank you.
Thanks again. Until next time, this is Jodie. I'm Jodie. Good night, everybody.
Looking good. Straight to the beat.
Really cherry picking. I can see you get you off right there. I think I'm gonna find you. All your hard work pays off. That's the cat.
She's fine, she's mine. Walking down the street, so man, beware. Man, she looks so neat, that face so rare. Then we'll stop and stare. One look, you're hooked. Got your money took, you got it, go, go, girl. You got it, go, go, girl.